everyone, this is Pedro Baez from Go for Glory Stable. Today is August 3rd, 2025, and this is the Racehorse video. So I'm trying to keep it short, but this video's been getting a little long, so I'm kind of just going to jump right into it. So let's start with Artist Best. He's doing fine. He's our Meadowlands racehorse, Meadowlands amateur racehorse primarily, and yeah, he's doing fine. So he just didn't get in last week. This week, I'm not sure if they're carding the amateur races. I didn't see it on the condition sheet for Meadowlands. So we'll see. He might have to go into we might have to drop him in the box for Saturday because they're not racing Friday. Maybe to kind of like regroup after the Hambo. They're not racing Friday, but they're racing Saturday, and we'll see. We might put him in just a straight condition race like the Trackmaster 77. So because they're not, for some reason they didn't card the amateurs. So it is what it is. Can't control that, but maybe because it's only one day and it didn't fit for whatever reason. So, but yeah, that's the plan. So he'll be in the box on Tuesday for Saturday, and he should get in. I mean, he was off last week, so. But yeah, that's the plan with him. All right, he's doing fine. Everything's doing fine with Artist Bet. He's a nice horse. He fits Meadowlands really nicely. Bluebird time. Let's go to the results page. This is my favorite thing. This is what I use all the time. He raced this past Friday or Saturday. I can't remember which day it was, and he came in 8th. So let's just look at this race. This is why, for all the Bluebird owners, I sent the email on this because I was pulling my hair out watching this race. It's one of those things where we put so much effort into finding the right horse, putting them in the right spot, finding the right race, the right trainer, everything you can think of, and then you get these kind of races, and you just kind of like, there's nothing we can. It drives me nuts. So he had the 6th post here at Meadowlands, and so there he is. We had Andy Miller, so we had David Miller the past 2 races. Didn't go well, and then he picked off this race for the 9 horse, and so we were left with Andy Miller. Because Andy Miller, it was just a catch drive. So a catch drive means you just show up to the track and you all of a sudden pick up a drive because, or not show up to the track, but you pick up a drive because another driver picks off for another horse. He chooses another horse over Bluebird time. But here, let's go back a little bit. Let's watch this off the gate here. So right here, Andy Miller's kind of pushing him a little bit. To me, just get behind that horse right here. Like that, he could have just got behind that 3 horse. There was no need for this. Now he did get lucky. That 3 was very nice of him. I don't know who that 3 is, but he should thank that guy. It was very nice to let Andy Miller in to that hole right there. And then Andy Miller's sitting in that hole, and I'm like, okay, we're in great shape right now. I mean, this is perfect. But then, we were on the rail for about, 5 seconds? We were on the rail for about 5 seconds, and then he pulls out. And at this point, we'd still be sitting here on the rail. Yeah, we'd be sitting on the rail. That 9 would have rushed all the way up by now. We would have been behind the 9, probably. That 9 ended up pretty well. So this is one of those things where 54-2. So 26-3 first quarter, 54-2 first half. So Bluebird, I gotta check the lines. I think he did like a 55 and change, which is like crazy fast for him. I mean, he's a good horse, but I mean that's a lot. I mean that's a lot to be asking. So we paid $10,000 for him. So then he's stuck behind this dead horse. This whatever this 8 horse goes 3 wide. At this point he's been basically parked out the entire mile. Andy Miller's asking of him, and that 8 actually wasn't even dead, so he could have probably sat behind that 8 a little bit longer. And at this point, there's nothing left we can do. Now this 5 winning in 49-4 was just ridiculous. But it's one of those races where this horse is a dead closer. So he's a closer. This horse, Bluebird time, he needs to just be patient. The driver needs to be patient, just kind of sit there, don't do anything, just be in position, if you have to get out and kind of creep your way forward, at the half or something like that, that's fine. But to make your move so early with this horse, he's like a kind of like a one move big closing type of horse. So we'll find the right driver. So Rob knows it as well. He kind of said it right away. He was like, all right, we're gonna try for Tim. He's gonna try for Tim Tetrick. After Tim Tetrick, we'll see who's next. I mean, there's Brett Beckwith. One of our owners mentioned, there's Mark Hirschberger. There's more kind of lesser known guys like the Brad Chisholm types that are more kind of hungry and might more drive the horse the way we tell them to drive the horse. So we'll figure it out. But that's kind of the thing. The horse is doing fine, health wise and everything. It's just each horse is a different horse. So you have to drive the horse the way the horse wants to be kind of driven. And we need to find a driver who's going to get back to what Tim Tetrick was doing and back to what Brad Chisholm was doing, which was driving them like a closer. So that's Bluebird time. We'll get that rolling again. Charming Princess. So she was very frustrating. So she was a late scratch. So it made me angry because I stayed up until 9:40 p.m. to watch that race, and then she was a late scratch on the track, vet scratch. So she was actually on the track scoring down with the other horses and got vet scratched. And hearing more today, and it seems like it's more of like a reproductive system issue. So like ovaries, so like just like human. By the way, I'm not a vet, so I'm not an equine expert. But just like in humans, women have ovaries and things like that. So Charming Princess is a female horse, so she has ovaries, and all the reproductive organs that go along with that. And for whatever reason, it's kind of bothering her right now. Not sure why. The vet just said it's really bothering her right now. So we just gotta wait and see. She wasn't entered for next week on Tuesday, obviously. So we just gotta kind of wait and see the next couple days, and wait basically until Thursday next week to kind of see, like, is she coming along? Is she getting out of it? Does she require like medication? Is she feeling better? Is she jogging better? Like, she's not jogging as great as she was before. And the thing was with her, she actually had a really great mile. That last race was really good. I mean, that was like 56-2 or something like that. It was a really good mile. So her back half. So and the mile was like 56-2 also. So she was just kind of hitting the groove, and then all of a sudden she's dealing with this. But this isn't, this is just horse racing. Not for whatever issue, each horse kind of goes through things. So that's her thing, and that's her Charming Princess. So just hang in there. We'll kind of see what's going on with her, and then we'll get her rolling again. Conrad the Poggio, so he's coming next. So he was a late scratch, not as late as Charming Princess, but he was a late scratch yesterday at Tioga Downs. Rob Harmon basically said when he brought him in from the outside, his legs were kind of weird. It kind of wasn't like, something about him wasn't good. And then he brought him in to a stall, and then he gave him his like hay and oats and his mush and all that stuff. And Conrad didn't go near it. So he didn't. Usually horses, once you put like that bucket in of food, they just start devouring it, and just like dogs do. And he just didn't go near it. So Rob was like, all right, well, I got to take him to Tioga. He's not eating he's not even touching his lunch. Forget about eating it. He's not even touching it. He's kind of walking a little weird after he took him out. So for precaution, Rob scratched him. Now, it might not be anything. He might just not have been, whatever it is. It could just be like a temporary sickness. He didn't have a fever, so I guess that's good in that regard. But just wasn't right. So this is one of those things where the trainer scratches a horse. It just didn't seem right, and it kind of angered me. Not angered me that he scratched him. Just angered me because the horse was actually in a good spot. He had the 3-hole. The race actually went in like 57-1 or something like that, 57-2. Conrad can go in 55. So that tells me he could have won that race. He could have won that race blindfolded. That's what that tells me. That he even went in like 56 last week, where he was like stuck behind a wall of horses and couldn't go anywhere. So a race that went in 57, hit a 3-hole, late scratch. I was just like, I was very dejected, very. It was kind of like, man, that was a perfect setup for him to finally get that win and get moving again. So, but it is what it is. I mean, this is, for all of you who've done horse racing for a while, you know there's ups and downs to it. So, yeah, we got a late scratch. Let's just see how it goes. Hopefully, once we get another report on him, we'll let you all know how the Conrad owners know how he's doing. And he's a nice horse. We just got to get him healthy and get him rolling again. I mean, get him in the right spot. He's in the right spot. We just got to he needs to be driven aggressively. He needs to be driven like a horse that made 82,000 last year. He needs to be first over or on the lead every time, especially in these low-end races. Any race non-winners 8,000 or below, he needs to be, I don't care if he gets tired on the outside type of thing. Like, he's got to be in the mix every time. I've seen enough of this horse that he's a good horse that he should be better than this. So that's the plan with Conrad. We'll get him rolling again. Another horse that we need to get rolling again is Drill. He's racing in about an hour with Charlie. Of course, we get the 7-hole in this amateur pace at Tioga Downs, and we had the 6-hole last week. And there's 9 horses, meaning so there's a trailer behind the one, so it like really kills us because like we got to get like all the way even behind that 9-horse too. So we'll just see what can happen. The amateur races, anything can happen. You know, I've seen crazy things happen in there, so we'll just try and get a piece. And then the plan with him is, I asked Rob, can he race on Thursday? And then Rob was like, yeah. Rob's like, yeah. He said just he's racing from the back here, so he's not going to be used too hard. It's not like, I don't think Charlie's going to go crazy and try to like rush for the lead or anything. So Rob said, yeah, he said just we'll put him in the box Monday for Monticello on Thursday. Try to get in that same race he was before. Looks like those really tough horses aren't there anymore. I don't know what it was. It just like dropped in one week and then disappeared. Well, let me rephrase it. The race stopped filling for a while, so then maybe that's why he disappeared and found somewhere else. So, but it looks like a good spot again. So we're going to try to go there next week on Thursday. We'll see if he gets in. He might not get in. But then we'll quickly pivot to another spot. He fits like a really low race at Meadowlands, the lowest Trackmaster race, like Trackmaster 68. So he fits a really low race at Meadowlands on Saturday. So draws Tuesday, so we might try that as well. And he also fits some really low races at Saratoga. So there's good options left for Drill. We'll get him in the right spot. That amateur pace, it just got a lot tougher. So there's a 12.5 claiming tag in there for horses to get in. So these trainers and owners have been putting in really good horses with these 12,500 tags on them. And the horses are kind of older, like 13 years old, 14, so no one's kind of touching them, but they're still really good horses. So it is what it is. You kind of, that's how the game is. Everyone's trying to put their horse in the right spot. So you kind of have to just keep kind of working hard and finding the right place. So that's Drill. He's a good horse. He's healthy and sound. He'll get rolling again. So don't worry about that one. Anola, we'll just watch Anola's race real quick. Like I said, I'm going to try to move through this a little bit quickly because I don't want this video to be so long. But she was really good. She got second. So we got to show her race. And especially because it was a weird race. So she is they had this like retro thing. I don't know what this is, but she's the 4-horse here, and the favorite is the 3-horse right inside of her, Duly Resolved, and they're actually funny. Oh no, sorry, the favorite's outside, the 5-horse, and funny thing is they're both sired by Resolve. So I don't know how that came to be, but you got 2 of Resolves. Probably 2 of the best offspring from Resolve racing against each other in the Tioga Open Trot. So that's just funny how that kind of works out. And Resolve is good. He's a good trotting sire in Ontario. But here she is. She's sitting right behind that horse. That horse has a lot of power. So there's no issue sitting behind that horse. It's a good spot in the pocket right there. So no issue with this drive. It's going fine right now. He's just kind of sitting there on the helmet. Everybody in this race knows that it's a 2-horse race basically between Duly Resolved and Anola. So they're all kind of just hanging out there, like just racing for third pretty much. So none of them are making any early moves because it's for them. They know they're racing for third pretty much. So here's Anola, but then here it starts getting a little weird. 57-3 first half, okay, but then all of a sudden, like Tyler Miller starts asking Dooley Resolve to like really go. So this third quarter, he's flying, and then we're kind of gapping there, and I'm kind of like one side of me is kind of like, like why didn't we stay on the helmet? Why didn't we just follow that 5 and stay on the helmet? But neither here nor there. That 5 predictably came back. It was like fast quarter. It was like 27-2, but he came back to them. He couldn't sustain that. And there's Enola, and thank goodness that horse on the outside died a little bit and gave us room. But then here Mike Merton is making his move, and she's flying. It's just, this was tough to watch. I mean, she was good. I mean, I'm never going to complain about second place, but I don't know. To me, I'm not going to complain about second place, but to me personally, I don't know. It just that kind of stung a little bit. I really thought we should have won that race. So I'm not going to get into it, but I just thought, I'm not complaining about second. So first or second is our goal every time, first or second. But that race, I really wanted to win that race. So Erin, let's move on to the next horse. Erin, she did not race this week, so she's in the box for tomorrow at Saratoga. Good spot, good chance to win it. So let's see how it goes. I'm actually very interested in seeing that race. She's a little higher level here. The purses are increased now, 13,000 from like 10 or 11. So it's actually 13,000. It's pretty legitimate, and she's in a good spot. So and Jay Randall knows she's good. So I'm curious to see that race. I think we got a legitimate chance to win that. We'll see how that goes. Geologic, nothing to note on him. He's racing on Tuesday. The key here is just pray they don't cancel his races. It's going to be like 90 degrees supposedly again. But let's just pray they don't cancel the races. He's in a good spot, racing for a good purse. I got to update the driver. It's not Campbell. It's a different driver. It's a Money Man. But we'll see how Geologic goes, his first start ever, and just hoping for a good race. He needs experience. So Paul's just trying to get him experience. He wants to get him experience, get some races in him before the Massachusetts Sire Stakes. All right, Just Rose's Luck. I don't think we saw her big race she had a big race at Saratoga where she raced, it was a tougher race than usual, and she was really good. I mean, this mare was really good. Rod's been saying that she's been training great and everything, and we saw at Yonkers. I know a lot of you were like, oh, she came in like 7th or whatever it was, but if you look at her speed and how she did it at Yonkers, it was very impressive nonetheless. Nothing you can do from the 7 post and 6 post. But there she is in the 1 hole. Just Rose's Luck. She loves to fly. She loves to fly off the gate. So she's flying right there. That 2 was trying to get in front of her. 7 was trying to get in front of her, but she was flying. That 3 was like 1-2, I think. So no harm sitting behind that. Yeah, 1-2. No harm sitting behind that 3. That 3 is a very good horse. So, there's Just Rose's Luck. She's just climbing over. She's climbing over that horse. She wants to go. 27-1 is a fast quarter. So that's a fast quarter. This is not lowest level race for the fillies, but it's a tough race. This is a tough race. They don't really card that many filly and mare paces, condition paces at the higher levels at Saratoga for whatever reason. It kind of like jumps from here pretty much straight to the Open. Like non-winners 5,000 straight to the Open, which you never see that. At Yonkers, there's like 10,000 levels between the Open. But there's 56 and 3 half. She probably did 56 and 4. That's really good. That's like, I'm not going to compare her to Two Pistol Annie and stuff. And Two Pistol Annie's like definitely like a class above Just Rose's Luck, a class or 2 above Just Rose's Luck. But that's a really good half. She is a nice, very nice pacing mare. She's only 5 years old too. So, and the thing with her, look at her, she's still on the helmet. She is still pacing her brains out. So Jay Brandel, I'm fine. Some people were like, man, we should have stayed inside and gone, shot up the lightning rail, whatever. At first I thought that, and I thought that too was going to nip us here by doing that, by going outside. But then look, she's still flying. She's still coming. Look at this. She almost beat him. She almost won that race. So 54 and 1. That was as fast as the Open, the Philly Mare Pace Open. So by all means, excellent. Excellent. So the plan with her is we're going to try, there's like some paperwork and crap we got to do to race at Plain Ridge. So there's some good races for her at Plain Ridge on Thursday. So she didn't get in. They didn't card her race on Saturday. So we're going to try for Thursday at Plain Ridge. Draw is tomorrow. Good spot. Going to Vegas. She is racing tomorrow as well. We got a lot going on tomorrow. 3 posts. I think she's the morning line favorite. She hasn't raced in 2 months, so we'll see. She might need a race, but those horses aren't very good in there. So we'll see how it goes. But I think it would be amazing if she wins. Coming off the layoff and wins. So I'm just happy she's back. She's a nice horse. Mine Hunter, he is making his debut tomorrow as well. So he's tomorrow evening. 40,000 claimer, 20,000 purse. We got the 4-hole, and we got Brent Holland. So he knows the horse. He knows how good the horse is, and let's just see how it goes. There's a good horse that has the rail, like the favorite. He's like a 1-to-1 morning line. He has the rail, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see if we can get the lead, or if we're going to sit behind, be behind that one horse, or if we're going to be like third or fourth and have to go first over. Yonkers is kind of unpredictable, so we'll see how it goes. But the 6-horse race, we're in a good spot to pick up a check and do okay. Hopefully there's no claims on him and we can kind of keep racing them in this level for 20,000 each week. Can't control that. See how it goes. But I'm very excited for my Hunter. And Rob likes him too. Rob's like, he's got some power. He's got some pop. He can feel it, when training miles and stuff like that. Money Man, he's in a great spot on Tuesday. Same thing. Let's just pray that these races don't get canceled because he's the favorite or the second favorite, $21,000 purse, which is delicious. And he looks like he should win that race. He has like some guy, Nicholas Graffam, who races at Plain Ridge. First time I think Paul used him, I think. But the horse is so good, he should just be able to, even if I was driving, he should be able to win that race. So let's just keep our fingers crossed he can race because he really should be able to do some damage in there. So that's Money Man, and he's going to keep rolling. So Muscle Bart, he did not. I don't think he's in. I don't think Muscle Bart got in this week, but I'm not going to go through his to the replay. He raced at Poconos. The race went really fast, crazy fast, in like 50. Muscle Bart went in like 51. I think he came in 5th place. So the next step with him is we're going to just go back to the claimers. So we just got to put him where he can compete. The condition races are out of control. So that's Muscle Bart. Ship's Revenge. Ship's Revenge was very good. Let's go to her replay. Got a lot of replay. That's why I want to keep this moving. Ship's Revenge was very good. She can't stop getting outside posts. Don't know what that's all about, but that's just how she's been drawing. She's off this week by design because she's raced 5 weeks in a row and been doing it great. So she deserves it. She's getting a little breather, but then she still fits this class for 2 more wins. So she fits like a glove. She's going to keep rolling in here. There she is in the 6th hole, getting off the gate. Now right here, that 7, you see he's kind of hanging there. He's kind of watching. Like, Jay could have kept going. Like, in my mind, he could have kept going, like what the 7's doing. He could have kept going to get to the lead and do what the 7 just did. But that's fine. He saw a hole, took the hole. The 7 was 3 to 5. He took the hole and he just figured, that he'll come off the pace. If he got to the front, if he did what the 7 did and got to the front, he probably could have been sitting in front of the 4, and then the 7 would have been in front of him, or like give and take or something like that. So, and then we would have been in the pocket. To me, it's a 50-50 decision, and it's not a bad decision to make this move. Now, then we actually get cover. So for the first time ever, Ship's Revenge is actually getting cover. So this 2 is flying up, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness. For the first time ever, Ship's Revenge does not have to do it all by herself and go first over all by herself. But as you saw, almost immediately, this 2-horse went backwards. This cover was disgusting. This was horrible cover. And while this cover is going backwards and Ship's Revenge is stuck behind her, that 7 is just accelerating. So at this point, what are we, 5 lengths behind the 7? And we're going 3 wide just to catch up. At this point, I'm kind of like, oh man, like it's going to be almost impossible to win this race, but I'm just thinking to myself, like, please just keep going, keep going. But there she is. That's Ship's Revenge. She's still going. She got a lot of stamina. So she's still going. That 5 was he was trying to get a piece, but Ship's Revenge put him away, and then she put that 1 away, and then that 3 is trying to come up, but she put that 3 away too, and she got third pretty easily. But really nice mare. When I say nice mare, meaning nice mare for that class. She fits that class really nice. She's not Two Pistol Annie. Just Rose's Luck is definitely like a level above Ship's Revenge. Two Pistol Annie is about a level above them, or 2 levels above them. But what's her name? Ship's Revenge is still good. Excellent. Fits that class great. So let's move on to the Skybox. So as we're talking, getting a million texts and updates from Paul on Skybox, but the moral of the story is, it's all that right foot. So I'm kind of paraphrasing what I've been getting from Paul. It's all that right foot that's been bothering it. It's a little bit more than like an abscess, and he just, like Paul said, he said he probably shouldn't have raced him on the 14th, where that race where he came in second and he was kind of like bearing out, and a lot of you guys were like, oh, he's really bearing out. So Paul, he said he kind of probably shouldn't have raced him then, because he said he finished second on pure guts. He said it was just pure guts because that foot has been kind of, he said it's kind of like a hangnail where every time he puts pressure on it hurts. And so Paul said just really time and patience is what's going to take to fix it. He's got Ian McKinley working on it right now. He worked on it again today. He's basically rebuilding the whole wall of that hoof, and just to get it in the right spot. Ian McKinley worked on Sierra Leone also in the thoroughbreds. So he's like the all-star, world-class blacksmith. So Paul's using the best possible blacksmith to get that foot rolling again. Like I said, the same guy from Sierra Leone from the thoroughbreds, was a great horse. So I'm looking away right now because I'll send everyone who has Skybox, I'll send you all videos on him. Paul actually has videos of the blacksmith kind of working on that hoof, rebuilding that hoof. I'll send you all that kind of separately. But that's what it is. So it seems like it's a little more than expected. I thought it was an abscess. It looks like it's there's really something bothering that his foot, like it's just, he says he has like a thin wall around the foot and everything like that. So that's why Ian McKinley's kind of working on it right now. So I think, for me personally, I would just say I wouldn't expect, based on everything I'm hearing and seeing, let's just hope for the best. Meaning, like, I don't, like, when Wednesday or Thursday comes along for the draw for Plain Ridge, like, I wouldn't expect him to be in next week. Based on all that, I probably wouldn't expect him the week after. Like, I'm thinking, for me, me personally, I'm thinking, all right, let's just hopefully we can get one race from him in at the end of August. So, but then we might need to qualify too. So we got to see. This is horse racing. He never had this issue before that I'm aware of. He had like an abscess before as a 2-year-old, but not. This is the first time I'm seeing this with with the hoof kind of bothering him. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. He's a really nice horse, as you saw. He raced great to get second right there, and he was in pain the whole time. And it's hard to find horses that do that. And he didn't break; he kept trotting. So we just gotta kind of take our time. And he's a nice horse. We gotta take our time, get him right. He'll get earning again. So that's the plan with Skybox. That's what's going on with him. Soho Skyfall. Let's move on. Soho Skyfall. I'm trying to get his replay in. I want to get Two Pistol Annie's replay in before we close this video. Soho Skyfall had the 3 post in the open pace at Saratoga yesterday. Here he is at the 3-hole. And, these are all good horses. All these horses in here, that 7 looks like he missed the gate a little bit, but all these horses in here are really, really good horses. Like that 6 horse, I think that horse is like, he won in the open like in 51 or something recently. That 5 horse is really good too. That 7 horse is the one that beat Skybox last week really easily. So, not easily, but he beat the whole field pretty strong, and that 2 and the 4 are also really good as well. So these are not slouches. These are not 5,000 claimers. These are some excellent horses who get around the half nicely, and there's Skybox. Could he have pushed for the lead and made this like a 26-4 first quarter? And the thing is, for some reason he was 25-1. I don't know why, but if you're 25-1 and you're gonna go crazy against an even money shot or even a 4-1 shot, they'll probably try to park you. So Jay made the right decision sitting there. Now he went first over. That was his only decision. So he had no choice. He had no choice but to go first over. So that was the right move. If he doesn't go first over, we're just sitting there stuck forever. So this is kind of like there's nothing. That's exactly the right move to make. So then he's kind of grinding up there by himself, no cover, and he's just really going all out to try to get these horses. But like I said, that 2 and the 4, they make money too. Their owners are extremely happy with those horses. So now they're kind of they're Beckwith is getting after that 2 a little bit. That 4 is pulling out. There's Soho. He's still kind of rolling here. Now at this point, it's kind of a race for third. And this is what was impressive. This Soho digging in there and keeping second. Let's show that again. Let's show that last quarter again. Oops, I went too far back. So right here, Soho Skyfall is kind of back. He's kind of it's a tough race. This back half was like in 56, I think, 56-1 or something like that. So he's really going all out, and he's getting around this turn. Is what it is. He wasn't able to catch up to that 2 horse. There's nothing we can do here. But then Jay's like, all right, just keep going. Keep going, Soho. Just keep going. Let's hold for third. And then this right here, look at this. That 5 is flying. That 6 is flying. And you see that? He puts that little extra step in. Soho still fights them off the whole third. So yeah, he's a nice horse. We gotta try to. He fits a level lower than this that we're trying to get him in. So that's the plan for him. We're trying to get him that lower level next week. So we'll see if we can do that. So that's Soho Skyfall. He's good. He'll be in the box again tomorrow for Saturday. And it would be nice if they let us race in that lower level race. Although that lower level race went in faster speed than this race. It went in like 53 and change because there was a monster that somehow was in there. So he's facing some of the best horses they got at Saratoga. So this is just how it is. When you got a horse facing the best horses out there, it's going to be tough. So, but he's good. He's holding his own just fine. He's doing great. So that's Soho Skyfall. Steal the Century, like I said, he's in a few hours at Georgian Downs, and we'll just kind of see how that goes. Second race ever. Good horse, but just he's getting experience. We just got to see how that goes. Second chapter, second chapter is the babies. We're not going to go on him, and then Two Pistol Annie. Let's go on Two Pistol Annie to close up the video. Two Pistol Annie. She was really great, really good mare. And I've been telling everybody, like you see those lines where she breaks. You see those lines where she was parked out the entire mile, and as owners, there's only certain things we can control. So we can't control when the horse goes crazy and breaks. We can't control when the horse throws a shoe and it hits her other leg and then she breaks behind the gate again. We can't control when a driver parks her out from the 7 hole. But this is her. She's right here in the 4 hole. She blasts out, and I was not happy with this. A lot of the Annie owners I was talking to, I was not thrilled with going to the lead because she historically quits on the lead. Not a bad thing. I'm not saying she's a bad horse. I'm just saying each horse is different. So she kind of, if she's on the lead sometimes, she kind of gets a little bit complacent. And then when she sees horses again, she starts speeding up. So that's kind of what her deal is. So I wanted her off the pace. She was 2-5. She was so much better than these horses. So Jimmy Marone, Rob told him to come off the pace, but what are you going to do? You get a 2-5 shot. Every horse is expecting you to be in the front and on the lead. And they're all going to let you get into the lead. That's just how it goes. So he had to do it. But what he chose to do, which was interesting, and I give him credit. Jimmy's been doing this a long time, so I give him credit. I was expecting him to do like a 30-second quarter right here. We thought we'd joke around with Jason Bartlett. He's Mr. 30-second. Actually he did do almost like a 30-second quarter, so he actually did kind of rate this a little bit. But 56-4 still pretty fast. That's a fast first half. But Jimmy just knew he was a better horse than these. So as you see here, that 3 horses already gapping. At this point, Jimmy's not even trying to like slow down. He's not even trying to hold the horse back. He's just kind of letting her pace out, and he's basically bottoming out this field. So, like what I mean by bottoming out is he's not even trying to like rate it or anything. He's just kind of like, I'm the best horse in this race. So, just catch me. He's just like, I'm the best horse. So, I'm not even trying to like finesse this. I'm not trying to slow her down and speed her up. I'm just letting her roll because I know she's better than everyone in this race, and that's what she did. So. And he got after her a little bit just to make sure she kind of minded her manners. And he probably, the only reason why he was giving her reminders in the end was just kind of what we talked about, just to make sure she wasn't getting a little complacent and started like she doesn't pull up, but she sometimes just gets a little bit complacent if she's on a lead like that. But Jimmy's a good driver, so he got after her. She won easily. She won a nice $7,000 purse. She'll be in the box again tomorrow, Monday for Friday, and the non-winner is $7,500 because they allow you to go one level up after a win. Hopefully we get a good post, and hopefully we get a good race again. Jimmy knows how good she is. That's the key. Driver knows how good she is. Driver knows what her tendencies are, and that's why it's always important to have the right driver and the right horse. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed the video. Long video. Try to keep it short. Try next time again. And thank you very much. Have a good day.